JessConstantino, yeah.
Hello my beautiful YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. My name is JessConstantino. This is the second time I've recorded this video, so hopefully I'm able to do it better this time. I have lost most of my vision, so I am pretty close to being blind, and I do all of the shooting of my videos pretty much by myself, meaning I have to set up the shots for them myself, and usually on my own I do it pretty much by myself because I just like doing things by myself. I like doing things independently as a blind person. So I set everything up by myself, and when I set up my last video, I cut like the top of my head off. I wanted to tell you guys today about a question that I have been asked a lot recently, and that is why I chose to go through Guide Dogs for the Blind to get my guide dog. There are a few reasons that I chose to go with Guide Dogs for the Blind. The first is that I previously got a guide dog from Guide Dogs from the Blind. When I was 18, right out of high school, I was told at that point that I could get a guide dog, and I applied for the guide dog schools that were recommended to me. And at that time, Guide Dogs for the Blind was a leader in the guide dog schools, especially in California, which is where I lived. So I went to Guide Dogs for the Blind. I had a great experience with them, got my first guide dog, Bagel, and she was a terrific guide dog. She did so much for me. I had to retire her early because she got horrible arthritis pain in her hips, and we would walk for like 10 minutes and she would have to stop and rest, and then we would go for a little bit and then she'd have to stop and rest, and it was getting to the point where it was so long, it was taking us so long to get places, and I just didn't want to see her in pain constantly. So I retired her earlier than most guide dogs retire, and earlier than she really should have been retired, but because she was in so much pain, I decided to retire her. At that point, I did not pursue another guide dog because there was a lot of surgeries that I was going through that were giving me some vision back at that time. So I went several years without having a guide dog, and I was okay with that until the last couple years. My vision has started to deteriorate again, and currently in the last 7-8 months I am in the worst stage of my blindness that I've ever been, meaning I am as blind as I have ever been in my life. So I really started looking into getting another guide dog. About 11 months ago, I applied for a guide dog and was put on the waiting list for Guide Dogs for the Blind. However, after my eye infection in December, and we weren't sure where my vision was going to be, they put it on hold until my surgery, which was August 12th. And after my surgery, the guide dog school came out and reevaluated me again and evaluated my mobility level and put me back on the waiting list for Guide Dogs for the Blind. So I hopefully will be receiving a guide dog in the next few months. I should get to know when my training class will be. Hopefully I don't have to wait too much longer because I really could use a guide dog right now. But why I chose Guide Dogs for the Blind is because, first of all, I went to them before. I know that they have a great program and they do great training with dogs. So I was very confident that they would be good. The second reason is because I am allergic to pet dander. And so I looked into, when I first started my journey into trying to get a guide dog the second time, I looked into hypoallergenic dogs, which would consist of poodles or labradoodles. And I found a school in California that was called Guide Dogs for the Desert that trained poodles and labradoodles. In talking to them, I asked them why they specifically worked with those dogs, and they said it was specifically because people were hypoallergenic and they felt that it was an important need to fill, which I agreed. But then I talked to Guide Dogs for the Blind and I asked them why they did not train poodles or labradoodles. And they told me that poodles and poodle breeds are a very loyal and can be a very good dog if they have been trained properly for about 4 years. Up until that point, you will have a lot of problems with them and their distractibility. They get easily distracted, which is really bad for a guide dog, because if you're guiding your person across the street and you get distracted by a squirrel, you could run them into traffic. They also tend to be loud or noisy, so that would be bad for a guide dog in a situation if you were going to a restaurant or a movie theater. You don't want your guide dog to be barking and causing noise in a formal setting or a place where it's supposed to be quiet. The trainer said that if you train them really well for 4 years, you will get a great dog out of it. But most guide dogs get released when they are 1.5 to 2 years to their new handler or owner, and the owner doesn't want to put in the extra 2 years of training work to get to that 4 years of a really great dog. So they just tend to not work with those breeds. And that made sense to me. So that was the second reason that I decided to put aside the hypoallergenic dog. The third reason is because Guide Dogs for the Blind pays for everything. When I looked into other guide dog schools, you had to pay for the complete cost of the guide dog, to have it trained, to buy a puppy raiser, to have it trained by the guide dog school. You have to pay for the whole total cost of the dog, which is about $50,000. And that I could not afford $50,000. There are a lot of programs on the East Coast, because I live on the East Coast now. I no longer live in California. And there are a lot of other programs like Seeing Eye or Leader Dogs. There are a lot of other guide dog schools on the East Coast, but they all cost some form of money. They either $25,000, $10,000, $5,000, $1,000. Like, there was always some price tag on it, which may be fine. If you want to get a good quality dog, it makes sense to pay for that good quality dog. However, Guide Dogs for the Blind pays for the complete cost of everything. They pay for the puppy raising, they pay for the training for the guide dog, they pay for my cost, the handler, which would be me, the handler's cost to go to the training. So they pay for my airfare, they pay for my room and board, they pay for supplies for training, they pay for everything. And then after you get out of guide dog school and you have your guide dog, they help you with aftercare as well. They will pay for vet bills, they will reimburse you for a lot of things, and that all is really unbeatable, especially in today's economics, where groceries are skyrocketing and gas prices are soaring. It's really nice to have a school that will give you a great quality animal for no cost to you. That's awesome. And so that was probably the biggest reason that I decided to go with Guide Dogs for the Blind. But the last reason was when I spoke to the trainer about the poodle situation and the hypoallergenic dogs. He told me that they put all of this research into how they train their dogs and why they train their dogs that certain way and what the methods behind it are. And as a person that likes scientific evidence and facts and research, that was impressive to me. I felt like they have always been ahead in training techniques, and they're the leader in guide dog schools, and they have been that way for years. And so for me, it was a really easy decision. I felt like Guide Dogs for the Blind was the best decision. So that is where I will be attending. I will be getting my guide dog from Guide Dogs for the Blind in San Rafael, California. And I am really excited about it. I hope that they call me with a training class soon, and I will keep you guys updated and let you know every step of the way so you can join me on my journey. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or you want to see any other videos about my guide dog journey, let me know in the comments below and I will try to get to all of those. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to watch some shorts, you can go to JessConstantino Shorts.
Yes.
Please subscribe to my channel.
Yes, sir.
And if you haven't already and you would like to watch some shorts, you can subscribe to my JessConstantino Shorts channel. The link for that will be in the description below. Also, if you would like to keep up with my social media, you can check out my Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Those will all be in the description below as well. And if you want to help support Cooper and I and make sure that we can create future content, you can subscribe to my Patreon at www.patreon.com/JessConstantino. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate all the support, and I hope to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye. For more sneak peeks into a blind mom's life, please subscribe to my channel.
Yes, sir.
Pineapple Production. Yeah.